I believe at that point, once they agreed to the trade, the Dallas Stars gave Seattle permission to speak to Robertson, and he said no.
So in case you missed it from last night, Jason Robertson was almost traded to the Seattle Kraken, and the deal between the Stars and the Kraken was dependent on a new contract for Robertson, where he rejected a deal that would have paid him $15 million for the next 8 years. I swear to God, Seattle is just that who want me meme and everyone's saying no, because this is not the first time that they've taken a big swing and a big miss on a big fish player, trying to pay them ridiculous amounts of money to get them to play in Seattle, and they just say no. So in today's video, I want to go through the timeline of this situation with Jason Robertson, give you a breakdown on what happened and what is next for Robertson, what is next for the Stars, and where the hell do the Kraken go from here? So make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new around here. And without further ado, let's get into it. So first, I think I need to give some context before getting into the actual timeline here. Robertson is coming off of a campaign where he scored 45 goals and put up 96 points, but now he's a restricted free agent at 26 years old. He's looking to get paid, and the Stars, who obviously own his rights, are really struggling to come to a middle ground with Jason Robertson, as the Stars have just over $9 million in cap space, so it's very difficult for them to make a contract for Robertson worthwhile. So because of all this, there's been talk around Jason Robertson potentially being traded or being a prime candidate for an offer sheet, but the Stars want to get ahead of it, so much to the point where they are taking active calls on Jason Robertson, which is where we are going to now go through the timeline of what happened last night with Robertson and the Stars and the Kraken. All of my sourcing is from 32 Thoughts from Elliot Friedman and Jeff Merrick. But basically, here's the breakdown. The Dallas Stars and the Seattle Kraken were engaged in talks on a Jason Robertson trade, so much so that they both agreed to one. The details of the trade are unknown, besides the fact that the 7th overall pick was involved in the package going back to Dallas, but the trade was not going to go through if Robertson did not sign an extension. So Seattle and Jason Robertson talked, and Seattle offered a contract that paid him $15 million per season for the next 8 years. And they went the extra mile with this too, because the state tax in Washington is low right now, but in 2028, they're introducing a millionaire's tax. So Seattle apparently front-loaded this contract like crazy with signing bonuses so that Robertson would get as much money as possible in the first 2 years of this deal. Despite all of their efforts, despite the fact that they were able to come to an agreement with the trade, Jason Robertson said no. He rejected that offer from the Kraken, and according to Elliot Friedman, it's not because he wants more money, it's based off of the destination. I already made a video about how Seattle is the most mid-NHL team and how they constructed this roster, and you know what? Fair play to them for trying to go out and get a big name like Robertson and a big name like Panarin at the deadline, but it's just so funny that these players keep saying no. Like, they do not want to play for your team. Apparently, Dallas has offered Robertson a contract that pays him $12 to $12.5 million per season, and he hasn't taken that offer. But it's not just Seattle that's been involved with Jason Robertson in terms of trade talks, as according to Jeff Merrick, St. Louis has also entered the bidding war, offering a package that included multiple first-round picks for Robertson, to which Robertson said no to signing a contract with the Blues. There's also been reports about the Senators being interested in acquiring Robertson. Clearly, there's a lot of teams that are in the mix here, but it's all up to Jason Robertson of if he wants to go to these teams or not, and so far, he hasn't been a match. And that is where we stand as of the morning or almost afternoon of draft day. Jeff Merrick putting out a post today saying, for Robertson, today is a new day. I do believe his preference is to stay with Dallas, but on his terms, and with the number 14 beside his name could be another wild one. There's also talk about this being stretched into the summer as well. It's just completely up in the air with Robertson right now. But my immediate reaction is that I feel so bad for Seattle fans. And you have to give credit to the Seattle front office for at least trying to go out and get these superstar players, but it just seems like no one wants to play there. You got Panarin rejecting a contract that would have paid him $14 million. You got Robertson rejecting a $15 million AAV contract. They just got to be thinking what the hell they have to do to go out and get a top-end player like this. And to me, the answer is very simple. not be mid. This is a byproduct of building a middle of the pack team for years and years and years. Seattle has not been built the right way, and players are seeing right through it, as of course they're not going to go and play for a team that may or may not make the playoffs. Yes, they're getting paid $15 million like Robertson would have, but the team is not very, very good. And what are they willing to do outside of acquiring a Robertson like player to improve their team? Are they going to spend all their assets to get him, and then all of a sudden they're just going to be right back where they are? So I get it from Robertson's side of not wanting to play in Seattle. It's not necessarily about the city or anything, because from what I've heard, the city is fantastic. It's more about how the team is ran and if they are on track to be a cup contender, which I cannot say that for the Kraken at this moment. And for Dallas, this just complicates things even more with Robertson, because you have not been able to come to an agreement on a contract. Odds are you're going to have to come up in AAV to match what Robertson wants. It seems like they're trying to use the Mikko Rantanen contract as leverage, saying, hey, he's getting paid $12 million, so we view you as this kind of value. But that logic just doesn't work anymore, because the cap is going up substantially over the next couple of years. And let's just be honest here, Jason Robertson is a superstar, one of the more underrated superstars in the league. He's a 30, 40, sometimes pushing 50 goal scorer and about a point per game winger. In an environment where the salary cap is going up substantially, Robertson's value is also going to go up substantially. And as a result, the Stars kind of need to just suck it up and pay him what he is worth. And if they are totally unwilling to do that, you need to trade him. And at that point, you need to talk to Robertson about what his kind of preferred destinations would be, because it seems like that is the direction that players are going. Players have all the say in terms of where they head in terms of trade destinations at this point. And it's definitely making the job more difficult for general managers around the league to make these kinds of big deals happen. But at the same time, these general managers, when it comes to a Brady Tkachuk or that type of situation, they negotiated no movement clauses, so it is in the player's favor. But this Robertson situation definitely shows a trajectory where players are going to have more power over the front offices of teams, very much similar to how the NBA is ran at this point. And for Jason Robertson himself, he is going after what he is worth. And like I have said, he is absolutely worth the price tag that he is asking for. His base stats are very good. His underlying metrics are excellent. This is a first-line winger in the NHL on a contending team. And in this type of environment that we are in the modern NHL, he should be getting paid what he is asking for, $14-15 million. Now, in terms of where he wants to go, sure, you can be kind of stuck up about that and kind of pissed off at the fact that he is being very particular about what he wants. But again, this is just a sign that the power in the NHL is swaying more in favor of the players than it is the teams. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. I don't know if this is going to get dealt with today or sometime in the next week or so, but it is draft day. You never know what's going to happen. There's already been massive deals this week. But let me know in the comments, what did you think of the Robertson situation? Where do you see this going, and what potential trade destinations do you see for Robertson? And if you're a Seattle fan, sound off in the comments. Let me know how frustrated you are with this situation, because it has to be. That is it for this one. I did hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.